Good morning.
Good morning.
Everyone have a good Thanksgiving? Are we on Zoom also? Yes. Okay. I did not know. In the world we live in, everything's confusing anymore. Well, hopefully everyone got plenty to eat, plenty of rest, and enjoyed your family and friends and had a wonderful, wonderful week. Couple things. We would love to see you all there. Today is our last day. We have to give our final head count in. The company Christmas party, Thursday, December 9th, a view on lake. So it's out at West Shores, the new facility. I was out there for a charity event about a month or so ago. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. So if you've not been there, please show up. Love to see you, your significant other. Get a hold of Mercedes if you've not signed up as soon as we're done with this meeting here. I'd love to have all of you guys there. So we're making a final push today. I know we're 500 plus, but for the number of agents we have, counting spouses, that seems to be a low number to me. So love to have you there. I'm hosting, we're doing 2 mastermind groups today. I hear, no, you're doing 3 and you're doing 2. Be prepared. This is an opportunity. But Berkshire Hathaway continues to have the Leading Edge, the President Circle, and the Chairman Circle mastermind groups. Today, I'm hosting again the Chairman Circle one. It's going to be 3 individuals. Nico, this will be the first time we've had one of our agents on those. Nico will be one of those. So that is at 1 o'clock. You all should have got an invite on that. And I asked them to send that out to, again, any Chairman Circle winners. Love to have you on there to get some ideas. So let's dive into our video real quick, and then let's get this ball rolling. Someone sent this to me, and I don't remember. Corky, you didn't send this one to me, did you? I saw Corky out there somewhere. Focus on one thing at a time. Get great at it. Go to the next. Daily habits. We have. You want to stand and say what your son did? Was it this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend. We raced the.
And I didn't know that when I picked this video out last night, by the way.
Brooke Crane, this was her last national championship, or her last grand. She just retired. But my son won 17 to 20 novice. Novice number 1 in the nation this weekend at the Grand Nationals.
A Will Smith quote: "Never lie, steal, cheat, or drink. But if you must lie, lie in the arms of one you love. If you must steal, steal away from bad company. If you must cheat, cheat death. And if you must drink, drink in the moments that take your breath away." So Thanksgiving, a week for us to be grateful for what we have, right? We all have so many things that we need to have gratitude for, right? Attitude without gratitude is no attitude at all. So guys, I'm thankful for you. It's been a crazy 2 years. And unfortunately, I think it's going to continue to probably be a crazy next year. But we want to be here to support you guys as a management and leadership team. And I love what I see that we do within the Care Fund and the willingness of so many of you to help each other out. So let's continue, even as we grow, to be a family, to be here for each other, to help each other, to support each other. So I love you guys. So we're going to dive into it today. Breakfast, Chick-fil-A's out there. We now have Home Services Insurance on board. So are you guys, where do I see this? Oh, there you are. Come on up here, guys. Get up here, talk. But what we got yogurt for the healthy people, and then we got biscuits and other stuff for the unhealthy people. Yes. I've got to go get my blood test because I have too high cholesterol. So I'm going to stay away from that for right now.
All right. Thanks, Vince. Good morning, everybody. My name's Scott Teese. I am one of the VP of sales for Home Services Insurance. I think I was up on these screens a couple months ago, and nice to see everybody in person. Thank you for having me here. I am thankful to be here. Yes, like Vince said, please do grab some Chick-fil-A in the back in the kitchen there. There should be plenty. I hope there is. So I just wanted to be here this morning, and first of all, say thanks already for the opportunities that you've given us to help your buyers with home insurance. And just give you a little bit of a review of what we do. So, if you don't remember what I was mentioning before on the screen, we're just a personalized insurance agency, but not just any old insurance agency. We're becoming one of the bigger ones in the country. Okay. So we're fully owned by Home Services, just like mortgage, just like your title services. We're part of your team. We're part of your company. We're not an outside company who has no interest in your business. We have a lot of interest in your business, we have a lot of interest in protecting your buyers. So the person who's going to do that is Amber DeWitt. And she's been here with us for about a month and a half-ish. And she's up on the 3rd floor right next to mortgage. And so Amber, I'll let you kind of introduce yourself and tell a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Amber DeWitt. So I am officed up on the 3rd floor, just a couple doors down from.
You're next to Scott and Kyle, and we apologize for that.
So yeah, so it's been really fun. I've actually been doing insurance pretty much my whole life. My dad owned an insurance agency, and his proudest day was when I got my license. He doesn't care about his 5 grandkids. He only cares that I stayed in the family business. So I have been doing insurance for 20 plus years. I am really here to help you guys and help your clients. My main job is to make sure that they are getting the coverage they need at the best price and making it as seamless and easy as possible. It's also going to keep our name in their mouths, right? It's one-stop shop. So they're going to be referring their friends, they're going to be referring their families, they're going to stay with us. We're going to keep that revenue stream and keep it all in-house, which is what I'm here to do. I am an independent agent, so I have 20 plus companies that I can quote with. So I don't have to just pick the first one. We can really narrow it down to what they need and get them exactly what they need. And I'm working with, the mortgage loan and officers to get their closing documents so they don't have to deal with anything. I've had the opportunity of working with a couple of you already. I've saved the client's money. And it was a real quick process. I think you can probably attest to that. Dallas is very happy. I saved him over $1,000 over the course of the year, and it took maybe 30 minutes out of his day. So yeah, I'm really here to be a partner, and I'm hoping to get to meet all of you guys. So yeah.
All right, let's give a round of applause. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, we've been doing it at Home Services for quite a long time. I've been here for 15 years, and I've seen a lot of people come and go. Amber's very good at this. She knows her stuff, very personal, very good with people on the phone. And like I mentioned before, and Amber mentioned here, our main concern is making sure your clients are covered. We're not a warranty company, right? The warranty companies will kind of fix those things that might ruin your day or your week. We're here for the big stuff and for the stuff that can cause major headaches. So roof claims, water claims, those sorts of things. And yes, price is important. A lot of times we will be saving people $1,000. It's a lot of money. $400, it's a lot of money. $200 is a lot of money to people. Okay. That's the type of money we can put back in their pocket when you give us the opportunity to refer to your buyers. But if you think about it, we're also working with them long-term. They stay within the Home Services company. They stay with us. Your name gets out there. We keep them as part of the family. And I mentioned before in our, when I was on the screen here, that our retention rate is about 95%. We're keeping almost every single one of our clients on a yearly basis. But most importantly, when they have a claim, the coverage needs to be there. Any old insurance company out on the street is not going to care that much about your business and about your client being taken care of as we are, because we are invested in your business and making sure that they have the coverage they need, so that roof is replaced, so that water claim is taken care of, so that buried utility lines coverage is there when you need it. There's a whole bunch of things out there that people don't know about because, it's an insurance policy. Who cares about it until you need it? I'm here to tell you insurance is not the most fun thing in the world. I can't stand up here for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and make it super interesting, but we do all want it when we need it, right? So Amber's here to make sure that coverage is there. So like I said, our company is here to make sure that whatever insurance carrier that we have, Travelers, Safeco, Nationwide, Progressive, to name a few, we find that best fit for them. So all that we ask is that we have the opportunity to do so. Amber will be reaching out to your clients to see if they want to quote, and doesn't take more than 30 minutes, half an hour to get it done. And the most important thing is to get them to closing. Very simple, very fast, very easy for us to do. So any questions about insurance, what we do? Yes.
Yeah, you guys do the commercial policy stuff.
We do commercial policies, but we do it through a third-party vendor right now. The reason we don't do commercial yet, we will be doing it soon, is that we are growing so fast as a personal lines agency that if we start trying to branch out a little bit, we're not going to have the customer care that's there to make sure that the personal lines things are being taken care of. So I would say probably by 2023, we'll have a commercial. but we just give that to a third-party vendor at this point. So, but yes, we do all types of personal lines, home, auto insurance, rental properties, boats, all that different types of home insurance, personal lines insurance we do. And that's where really the savings is having multiple options. And with those carriers, just so you know, a Travelers, a Safeco, a Progressive, we are within the top 25, top 20 with Travelers. We are within the top 5 size agencies throughout the country. So we have very good relationships with them, and they help us out when we need to be helped out. So you can have a lot of confidence that your buyers will be taken care of.
Thank you. Anything else? All right.
All right. Thanks for
I
having me.
appreciate
Please
it.
get Chick-fil-A.
Thank you. Thank you. Gina, Shannon, did you hear that? Do. That is English. See, Scott, you're going to fit in. We've got our own book of English around here. Scott, I'm going to have you run next, and I'm going to have Rob do that. We've got some MLS, and these are national changes that came down from.
Yeah, so there was
the
a national
annual
meeting in San Diego. I don't know if Bill, did you go? You did not. So there were many changes, but kind of the big ones, and some of it relates to the ongoing lawsuit with the Department of Justice, where there was a settlement and that settlement fell apart. And so they decided to continue on with some of the elements of that settlement.
And that was all about buyers, agents, commissions, right?
Right.
And who should be paying them.
Correct. Yeah. And so that, the point is to be open and, and let everyone know what's kind of going on and not hide the ball or anything like that. And so and there's 2 that are coming out, but one important one is, and you'll see this is that going forward on listings, that it'll be required to provide in a prominent space the listing agent, listing broker, and a contact information for them. So if I'm searching on Berkshire Hathaway's website page, I look up, it's an NP Dodge listing. It's going to prominently say now within that web, rendering page that this is an NP Dodge listing in a prominent place in similar font to everything else, and it'll have a contact information where you can do that. And really, this is sort
So
of
it doesn't have
focused
to be.
on
It doesn't have to be the listing agent, right? It has to be
It'll
the
be the
broker's
listing
name
broker.
and a broker's number.
broker contact information. They'll
Okay.
put in the MLS what number they want up there or what email address that they want up there. So that'll go in the MLS, and then it'll get sent out to us from the MLS to put onto our website. And so that's going to be required. So you're going to see that. Another thing that came out was buyer's compensation. Basically, what are we offering to a cooperative broker? And so if we have a listing, it'll say we're paying out 2-4. And now already in the MLS, it says that, right? But this would be on our own Berkshire Hathaway Home Services web page, website. Jesus.
What are those things?
Okay, yeah, website, whatever.
But
yeah,
will it be on everyone? It'll be on
It'll
Zillow's,
be-
Realtors. It'll be on everyone's website,
right,
right?
but this will be optional. So
Right.
you can either do it or not do it. Now, there's MLSs that actually have their own website. And in those states, they'll put the information out there, and they'll be required to put what the selling agents getting compensated on that. We, as a brokerage, will have the option of whether we want to display that or not. And so
We've not decided.
we're not decided. We're looking into it, but someone in town might do it. So just be aware of it, and kind of the thought is that it's going to be open for buyers to understand what their agent's going to get compensated, which leads to the next point, which is now there's a restriction about saying advertising or anything like that, where we would say, hey, you don't have to you're getting the buyer's agent for free. There's now going to be a restriction on using that term. So you can't advertise it. You can't say it any longer, because again, they're concerned that, it's not true, because really it's worked into the deal. But these are kind of the concerns that they put out there.
That's part of the national lawsuit, right?
That's part of the national
That's
lawsuit, too.
misleading to the consumer.
That's right. And then the final thing is that Oregon went out and actually filed a law or passed a law that says you can't do love letters any longer. So they actually took the next step. That is now being challenged in a federal lawsuit over a First Amendment violation. And so that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But Oregon actually passed a law saying you can't do that. No more love letters. They're the first to do it. Not surprising, leading edge of those kind of laws. And so we'll see what happens with that one. But that'll be interesting to see where that goes. My assumption is that law probably won't stand up to First Amendment restrictions.
You're an attorney. You should know.
We'll find out. Bill?
repeat that to everyone in the back.
So there's a law being bandied about right now that will ban wholesalers unless they're licensed real estate agents. Okay. That's just
And
being
that's
talked
primarily
about.
investors, right? Coming out there, just making those dial for dollar calls. I'll buy your house for X. And then turn around and selling it.
So will that be focused on not allowing them to advertise or just operate? Operate, okay. Well, we'll see how that one goes.
Is Doug or Joe in here? See if there's any other things from the Real Estate Commission coming out. Okay. Thank you, Scott.
All right.
Rob, AHS,
Yes.
have you been here since we switched over?
I
Have not? You've been to a bunch
I've
of
been
mastermind groups. I
helping
can't remember.
Kevin out for about 9 months, and he's been gone for about a month and a half. So
Perfect.
I didn't realize I was going to have to follow an emotional video and Chick-fil-A.
Well, we buffered it with an attorney, so you should be good.
I feel like the unsigned band that has to follow Taylor Swift and the Foo Fighters. So we'll see how this goes. I just wanted to introduce myself to everyone who didn't know me yet. I'm Rob Geiger. Take down my phone number, 515-202-5696. If you want to text me, I can send you text me your name. I'll send you my digital business card. I have that. So I'm the rep now for Kevin. Kevin Gross has recently been promoted. So still with the company, he's just covering our southern region now. So those calls, questions, issues, concerns, all those times you want to talk to us, call me now instead of Kevin. If you call Kevin, he's still getting those. He's just forwarding them to me. So we'll get them taken care of, but we can take out the middleman. So I've been doing this for a few years now, been covering parts of Iowa, helping out Kevin in Nebraska. So you're not getting someone brand new. I know the business. I can really help you out. A couple little tidbits for you. Your company is outstanding. You, because of your relationship with Home Services of America, you get the no cost, no obligation seller's coverage. That goes on all your listings. However, when you're representing the buyer side and there's not a warranty on there currently, you can still put seller's coverage on those warranties. There's no additional cost to do that. That way, if between the offer being accepted, if something comes up on the inspection, cracked heat exchanger, something of that nature, there could very well still be coverage on that. You could save the seller some money, or maybe it's a situation where the kind of this crazy market where the buyer is saying, hey, we're doing an inspection just for our purposes only. They can still get those items covered. So if those things come up, make sure you get them entered, get them entered before you do that inspection so that we can have those coverages there for you. And the last thing I'll touch on is, as the temperatures, well, they're kind of creeping up this week, which has been nice, but obviously the cold and the snow and all that nasty stuff is not too far away from us. So typically speaking, if you do a home warranty claim, it's during normal business hours. So if you file a claim this past Wednesday at 5 o'clock, you're probably not going to get someone out there until Monday, because that would be, holidays and weekends and everything else. However, when there's emergency situations, so temperatures, all they have to do is drop below freezing, we can expedite those claims, meaning we'll pay for after-hour services for our vendors. If we can't find one, so we'll give the customer outside authorization. So we want to make sure that if it's an emergency safety situation, we're getting those customers taken care of. So the best bet on those is either have the customer call them in, or feel free, give them my number, they can call me, I'll get it taken care of for them.
Thank you.
Other than that, yeah, 515-202-5696. Like I said, if you want to text me, just put your name in there so I can get you in my contacts, but then I'll send you a copy of my digital business card so you have all my contact information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we had no relationship, probably, what was it, 2 years ago, Scott, with AHS, and we're seeing through our mastermind groups that more and more people are using them. As the market is shifting, it was kind of difficult. Sellers are like, I'm not going to do anything. Buyers are like, I'm stressed out financially. But I think we're starting to see more warranties start to come back onto things in the marketplace. So Maggie, can you come up here? We finally have wrapped up. I think we've talked, you probably started 2-3 months ago on this digital business card and this text to format. So I'm gonna have Maggie run through that. We've actually got that worked out. And so
So,
we're gonna start having you guys sign up for this if you want to.
so if you want, pull out your phone and you can text. This will be interesting. Nothing like a live demo. Text 88500 and you're going to text my name. It's Maggie, Maggi.
So up in the, for those of you, because there's, I know in Masterminds, so where you text to Maggie, you would say 288500, and then down where you would say hi or something like that, you're gonna put in.
Yeah. So the phone number is the 88500. And then in the message, you're going to just type my name, Maggi, which is great that my parents spelled it weird. It's the first time it's worked out. That text code is available. So what this should do is send you back a link or this digital business card after you type it in there. Did everybody get it? Sweet. It worked. And so this is just one way to share your digital business card. So you can have clients, people that you meet at an open house, whatever it is, use that short code, and then you can pick your text name. So like in my case, I was pretty lucky. Jay Brown, maybe not so much. But you can kind of pick and choose whatever that short code is going to be. So this is what you should be seeing. These icons, call, text, email, about me. Obviously, this is all customizable for your information. The buttons down at the bottom, also customizable to you and where you want to point those and where you want to go. The other piece of this that you guys can customize is the brand. So if you're on a team, your team logo can be up there across the top. If you want to use your team colors, there's the hex codes in there where you can update your branding right there on the screen. It live updates so that you can see what you're doing.
Do we have an
Marketing,
example of
that
where a
too.
team has one of theirs?
I actually don't.
Okay.
Gina, if you go to the next tab, and if you click on Contact Manager, my watch is talking to me. I instantly have everybody in the room who just texted me. Wow. All of them. So that's everybody that texted me. You got my contact information back. So now you have instant access to those people's phone numbers. If you were to click on my face, a little window pops up and it allows you to fill in your contact information. This is exportable. So you can export this to a CRM. The other thing that I did want to show you, Gina, if you click on Share Card, this is where you can go in and customize what that card looks like. So obviously we've got all the company default information in there. You can, again, update those icons, update the colors, upload your own logo, change your photo. They had a 15-year-old photo of me in there. And then if you scroll down, Gina, click on Sharing is Caring. Here's the QR code for your digital business card. So if you're using print, so flyers, mailings, they scan that, it automatically adds that consumer to your dashboard. And then here's where you choose your name. So text Maggie to this phone number, and then there's a link. So you can add it to your email signature. So there's a lot of different ways to use this. This is ready to go. I have an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to send an email out later today. All you have to do is reply to it and let me know that you want it. We'll get it uploaded in the system, and then you'll get an email to log into this platform and update your branding.
Now, I misspoke earlier when I talked about this. I was of the impression that if they would text you automatically, you would get their contact information. All you really do is have their phone number. So you would then have to go in and add into your contacts.
Yep.
Who was it that just texted or?
You could use Forewarn to get the rest of the info.
Yeah.
You also, like, if you meet them at an open
The
house.
point was I was wrong. I know this is hard for you and Shannon to believe.
Well, I'm going to say you were half right. So click
Thank you,
on,
thank you, Maggie.
click on the other tab really
Obviously,
quick,
we're
Gina.
not married because she's
Yeah.
supporting me.
My husband's never right either. See where it says save next to my picture? That allows you to download the person's information onto your phone, and then connect allows this, like, so like if Vince and I were to connect, it would download his information to my phone, my information to his. The other piece of this that's coming is a metal business card. Basic, and I asked the lady, I go, well, how do we activate these? You literally hover it over your phone and it downloads your information as your contact onto that digital metal business card. So I could say, okay, Jay, give me your contact information and walk up with that metal card, and it's gonna download my information into his phone for iPhone and Android.
So it's not a QR code on there where they open their phone. It is, okay.
It's both. It's
Okay.
a QR code and it's like an infrared.
So that was an
Chip.
important part of this for us when we were going back and forth with them, is that we really wanted to have both the text platform and we wanted the platform to have the business card where it's really a QR code. They can just scan it or the information gets transferred.
Yep. And so the final question that somebody might ask is, how much is this? It's free. It's $7 a month. So for your digital business card, this website, the contact management system, again, I'm going to email out more information later today. So please look for that email. If you're interested and you want that, I'll throw your name on a list. I'm going to try to collect as many people as I can this week so that like Friday at noon, I can send the vendor off the list and we can get that mass imported. So it'll be by Friday and into Monday of next week, you'll start to get your information.
Go ahead, Jay,
I have a couple of questions. Is there a commitment?
Can we-
or is
can we-
there any kind of trial?
or just repeat that.
The question was, is there a commitment or is there any kind of trial?
Question from the class.
Yeah. So ideally you would commit for a year
I think that was, yeah,
because we committed for a year.
right.
So ideally you would commit for a year. We went ahead and purchased 250 of these. So if we need to scale that, we can. And then the trial, there's not a trial. It's kind of an all in.
The trial's 1 year.
The trial's a year.
You pay for it. Then you can make a decision at the end of that year. Jay, you're a smart guy. You know the answers.
Are there any other questions out there?
This is a website?
This is a website, Scott. I was almost afraid.
Now that Scott knows what one of those look like.
See how it works? You click and things load. It's pretty cool.
Guys, right? There's no question. Business cards are going by the wayside. It's all going to be digital. So for us to have the text platform and to have the digital business card with the QR code, I think really accomplishes all aspects of it. So
Yeah.
I know when we were going through our mastermind groups, we had an overwhelmingly, I think we probably presented to every mastermind group, an overwhelmingly positive response to, we said, do you want us to continue to head down this path, knowing here's probably what the cost is going to be. And it came in about what we thought it would be. So we're excited about this, guys. So get a hold of Maggie. But I think this is a cool thing that just shows that we're utilizing technology to advance staying connected and build relationships.
Cool.
Anything else for Maggie?
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. All right. I presented, Mark Brace presented, and then I presented to you guys. Mark's a friend of mine out of Michigan, what he called the perfect storm. You guys all remember that. We've talked about it in mastermind groups, that interest rates are at historic lows, right? That that demand for houses at an all-time high. He showed a map of millennials having a boom, which are now the people 34, 35, 36 in the early 90s. So then I was sharing that with Seth Madison, who we've seen, Ryan Estes, Brett Grease, and some other people on a national call. And Brett Grease, who's part of this collaboration group that I have, is also on the board of directors of Methodist and some other tech companies. He sent me an article that prompted another conversation showing that after millennials, that Gen Z, there actually is a decrease in Gen Z of babies being born. And so that over these years to come, that we're gonna have this little boom of millennials, but that household formation, because of that, maybe here in the future is gonna start coming down. So we keep talking that we think, and then I talked to Bert Hancock. I don't know if you know Bert Hancock, an apartment developer here in town, in Exarban and some stuff down in Sarpy, sent me another article, kind of the same thing, says I'm a little concerned that we're starting to overbuild apartments because of household formation, because of population growth, of what happened to Gen Z, that we saw a dip in baby growth. So it's reasonable to think that maybe over these next couple of years, because we have undersupplied houses for such a long period of time, there's going to be some catch-up period. We've got this boom of millennials, but then after that, we start having a drop off of population of people that start coming into the marketplace to buy houses here 4, 5, 6 years out. So it was interesting to see that as we're having that conversation for them to send that. I've got a couple articles that we can get out and we can share with everybody. I need to dig those back up again that I think Bert sent to me and Brett sent to me, and we'll get those out to you guys. So I thought that was interesting, you know, that there's basically the thought process. Yes, we're going to be on a run. I kept saying 3 to 5 years. That may be aggressive. Who knows? You know, it seems to me like the market's starting to stabilize and become a much more normal market here over the last 2 to 3 months than what we've had in the craziness of the last year or two. The question always comes up in our mastermind groups, what's going to happen next spring? God knows I have no idea because I'm wrong every time I predict one of these things. So I'm not even going to predict. But obviously what we do know, and I think we said we're going to try to have Scott maybe run this about a year ago. If you remember, we had Scott run a 5-year graph that showed in Omaha, the most number of houses sold and the highest average sales price over those 5 years on a month-by-month basis. And what we saw was this, we're very seasonal, is that new pendings starting in March, April, May, June were at the heights. Closings were April, May, June, July, I think, right? We're at the heights. So the number of units sold were at the height of the spring and early summer months. The average sales price at its height was those same exact months. And then we started coming into October, November, December, January, February. The number of houses sold were down, but also the average sales price was down. So I can't imagine that's changed. If we run one more year and add that to that graph, we can update that. But there is a seasonality of prices in Omaha, which brings us to, you know, if you're a buyer, do you wait till spring where clearly more houses will go onto the market? So you have more choices, but also clearly more buyers come into the market. So I continue to believe the buyer that struggled last spring because they have limitations on financing and things like that is much better off today to still dive into the market this month. And December historically is our low number for new pendings, January for closings. But if I had buyers out there that were using FHA, VA, you know, did not have the ability to put additional cash down for escalation clauses, I would try to get them into the market, even though there's less houses now, than wait till the spring market. What we've seen as we've been tracking every week over the last month or two, the coming soons, spring and summer were floating at 140 to 150, upwards of 160, 150, give or take 10. Coming soons, meaning that houses were getting ready to come on the market. That's dropped all the way down to where we're now seeing it, what's 50, 60? Yeah. So basically, we know the number of houses coming on the market for the balance of the year, coming soons are telling us they're going to be substantially less. So yes, you have less choices, but you have less competition. So I still think there's opportunities to get out there. The number one thing coming out of Jay's class that I think is so important for us is, I just talked about seasonality. The number of houses being sold are less in December and January. We know that through the holiday seasons. But we also know human behavior says because people know that there's less business being done, they take the foot off the gas and they start working less. This is the best time of the year to build and nurture relationships. There's no better time to do your pop buys, to have pie pickups, to do client appreciation parties, to do one-on-one face-to-faces for coffees, lunches, breakfasts, and get-togethers. This is the best time of the year to build and nurture relationships. There are still people doing business, and there's lots of people thinking about doing business after the holidays, at the beginning of the year, and next spring. And if you're the person that's getting together with them now and nurturing that relationship and starting to help them prepare to get their house ready or find out what's out there in the marketplace, you're going to be the agent that gets that deal. So to kick off next year strong, I think your next 30 days are the most important thing. We talked about setting goals. I'm hoping everybody by this point in time has set goals. I think in every one of our mastermind groups, we went through the goal setting thing. Again, those have not been around. Those have been around for 20 years. You've heard me say this 500 times. We love, because it's very simple, the 1-3-6 process. What is my goal? Now, we tell you if your goal is to make $200,000 or $10 million of sales or something like that, we always want you to back that down into how many units is that? We want to coach you to units. Activities you do on a daily basis, your daily habits, right? Those are going to determine how many units you can do. Now, we can work on increasing average sales price and things like that, but focus on how many deals do I need to do to hit my income goal, to hit my sales volume goal. The 3 is the Darren Hardy approach in my mind. The 3 is what he said. He said, I'm going to brush my teeth like it's going to the Olympics. I'm going to make my bed. He focused on one thing at a time, and then he went on the next. We're not wired to do 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 things at a time at once. Right? Actually, studies show. What the heck?
Website.
Wow, is that a website? Studies show, I told this to you before, if you're trying to do 2 or 3 or less things at a time, the odds are very good that if you're trying to do 3 things or less at a time, you're going to accomplish 2 or 3 of them and you're going to do them well. If you attempt to do 4 to 10 things at a time, if you're focused on 4 to 10 things at a time, you're only going to accomplish 1 to 2 of them, and you're not going to do it as well as if you're focused on 3 or less. And if you try to do 10 plus things at a time, you'll be lucky to accomplish 1 of them, and you won't do it well because you're focused on too many different things. So the 3 are focused on the few. What are the things that are most important, that are things you need to be doing on a daily basis, an hour and a half to 2 hours a day? If each individual could take an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, uninterrupted, not texting, not on your phone, not doing emails, not doing social media, and focus specifically on what is that action item that I need to be doing that's going to help me build and nurture relationships to achieve my goal, everyone's going to do that. And if we all had jobs making $200,000 a year, I guarantee you there's somebody telling us, you better be doing something for 2 hours a day. But the problem we have in this industry is we have shitty bosses many times, which unfortunately is us. So if we want to procrastinate, make excuses, and not do things, we can do that. But those people, when you look at the most successful people in anything, it's they have the discipline to understand, here's the things I need to do. And the 6 is a time management tool. What are the 6 things I need to stop doing, do less of, or hire somebody else to do? And that's the biggest thing. If you're doing 30 to 35 deals a year, you've got to start looking at hiring somebody, because what I know is you're spending 10, 15, 20 plus hours a week doing non-revenue generating, non-productive, right, non-business growth activities that you need to do to give good customer service to the transaction, but it's taking you away from having a balanced life, which we want you to do. We want you to have a work-life balance, do the things that you love with the people you love, but we also want you to take more time to continue to grow your business and take it to the next level. So if you do not know what your time wasters are, all I need is 2 or 3 days. From the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night, in 15-minute increments, write down what did you do. And when you go back down there, then go back through that day and highlight which one of those activities were revenue generating, prospecting, business growth activities that's helping you grow your business in one color, and to go highlight in another color which one of those things are not helping you grow your business, which one of those things, right? Staying busy and being productive many times are not the same thing. People tell me all the time, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. Great, well, what are you doing? Well, unfortunately, many times they're not doing things to help them grow their business. So if you've not set your goals, set your goals. If you don't have planned to work in the month of December, which I'm assuming you showing up here are planning on working in December because you're showing up here at a sales meeting. So those of you on Zoom that are laying in bed, coffees, lunches, get-togethers, pop-bys, pick-up pies, things like that. Build and nurture relationships over these next 30 days. It will pay you great dividends when we get past the holidays into that second week of January and we go into the spring market, which clearly will pick up. We know that will. So that's my preaching for the day. Anything else, guys? That Joellen Keating in one of our mastermind groups, and I thought this was great coming out of Thanksgiving. Thank you, Heather, for sharing this with us. Said, you know, she thinks this is a great time, and this is going to be what our next mastermind group for her group is going to talk about. A great time to reflect on the year. What are you grateful for? What went right? What went wrong? What do you need to change? You know, and then basically think about what's one positive thing that happened to you that, you know, is something that you can grow and continue to focus on, that's going to continue to be a positive thing as you move forward in your life. So I think this is a great time of year to reflect, especially in a year as we've had with all of the craziness, right? There's more stress, more anxiety, more emotional craziness than we've ever seen before. Reflect on what happened this year. What are the positive things? What can you take from those things? And how do we use those things to build, to continue to move forward? open dialogue, subject matter that's important to you guys. I know we got it. I'm not going to forget to give away the good guy award. Do you want to do that before I forget? Okay, good. Ring day, Bill, you probably can talk about this. Ring day, a Realtor Ring Day is this Friday, December 3rd. Are we still looking for people to try to do that? So how many more people do we need? And
Yes, as of a couple days ago, we were only at about half. And typically we generally fill everything up with plenty of time to spare. So please go to omaharealtors.com, look for the Ring Day link and sign up. We've got plenty of doors, plenty of places to choose from still. And there's a costume contest if you're so inclined. Bring a whole bunch of people, play some music. Bring your guitar, Jason, any number of fun things. And there's a party at DJ's Dugout afterwards. And it is poised to be the largest ring day ever in the history, the largest single day ever in the history of Salvation Army Omaha giveaway or money raising.
yes, is he here? Perfect. And then transaction coordinator. We've had a lot of questions about that over the last 2 months. We've had a transition. Tom Knox, who was basically just, is Tom around here? I don't see him. Tom, stand up, stand up. Tom is taken over the last 3-4 weeks, the transaction coordinator position. We are trying to use this as a time, Jay's helping us, Daryl's helping us, to focus on how do we fine tune that to really figure out what's important to you, what's valuable to you guys in this process. And we're also trying, because there's more work than Tom can handle on this. And we're hoping that we're gonna do a good enough job that people are gonna want to start using transaction coordinators that don't have assistants. We think we are gonna hopefully get somebody hired yet this week even, right? We're working on it. So we'll keep you in the loop on that, but Tom is floating out here if you need him. But Tom, is there anything you want to say about that? Or Daryl, anything you want to say about that?
Love being the center of attention. So yeah, so I sit not too far from Daryl, out in the middle of Cube Land. You'll have to find me standing. I keep my most of the day. But just reach out to me, text, phone, email. If you want questions about what it can help you do with your transaction, make it go smoother for you, make it easier, so you can spend more time prospecting or whatever you need to do.
Perfect. Daryl, anything you want to add to that? All right. Any other questions, guys? Anything else out there you want that's important to you that you're seeing that you want to talk about before we wrap this thing up? Is this going to be our last sales meeting of the year? And then we're going to kick it off the first Monday. Probably January 4th will be our first one to kick off the beginning of the year. No?
Yes, January 4th.
We're not doing January. Oh, I won't be here, so Heather will be running it.
Okay.
So be here for sure. It will be vibrant. It'll be exciting. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Guys, keep your foot on the gas. There's business to be had. It was a great year, but most importantly, let's be thankful of what we have that's positive in our life. Let's be here to support each other. There are a lot of people going through difficult times. Let's make sure that we're there for those people. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Good guy, good guy. My God, I gave you one job. Yeah.
Okay, so Josh Bundren couldn't be here this morning, so I get to present. So here's what Josh has to say about the next good guy. This person always has a smile and friendly demeanor anytime you walk through the office. What's special about this person is that they always ask about you personally. How are you? How is the family? What's happening in your world? Of course, they have a lot of great information to share regarding new construction, but always asks about you first. I've been picking this person's brain for years and proud to know him professionally and call this person a friend. And without further ado, the next good guy is Mike Thorell.
We need to get something to tighten that up in there. Mike, can you tighten this up also? I'm gonna let you tighten this up for the next 2 weeks. You Mr. Good Guy.
Get my toe back.
Thank you,
You're
brother.
actually the good guy for the next
For
few
the month.
weeks. And then.
What?
Concierge.
Go ahead.
If you guys, so this concludes sales meeting. However, we have Concierge Auctions going to do a quick presentation. They only need 5 minutes. So if you would like to stick around, and Will, you can come on in and listen to what he has to say. It'll be
And it's
interesting.
about auctioning things off, right?
Morning, sir. Yeah,
All right.
how are you? Morning, everyone. Is this okay for volume? Perfect. Okay, so my name is Will Wagner. I am with Concierge Auctions. We are super pleased to be in town and working on a project with Michael Maley. The listing is still on MLS. We always work with the listing agent when we're in town doing an auction. It's 17445 Valley Drive. You may have seen some of these kind of cruising around the office and that kind of thing. It's our spec card. So great to have the opportunity to come in and talk to you folks. I know that time is valuable. You're working on your next 15 minutes and writing down things that you're doing in 15 minutes. So hopefully this is one of them that is productive. So very quickly, Concierge Auctions is the world's largest auction company for real estate. We specialize in luxury and unique homes and properties all over the world. When you go to conciergeauctions.com, cruise around, look at what's currently available and what we've sold. Typically, we do about 150 auctions per year all over the world, based in the States, but we're active all over the world. Super pleased to be here in Omaha for the very first time. So I'm a little bit of a guinea pig on this, along with all of you folks. So those of you that have come to see me at the property, I'm on the property 1 to 4 every day. Great to see you there. Please do come down and see the property and then talk to me about the auction process. A lot of people ask, why would a seller go to the auction process as opposed to just kind of sticking with the traditional model that we're all very familiar with, and it pays our bills and that's how we get paid. Why would somebody go to auction rather than staying on the MLS? Very quickly, 2 main reasons that our sellers would do this. One is certainty. Through our auction process, which is a 6-week process, the market will speak. We encourage everyone, similar to any other auction, we encourage anyone that sees value in the property to bid on the property to their value. So it's a little bit different from the traditional model where there's a list price and somebody can come in and make an offer. That offer is negotiated, then accepted, and we move on. We're all familiar with that. In our model, the sellers are sort of take a back seat and the buyers take the front seat and they dictate what they bid. So very unique. In terms of timing for our sellers, it's a 6-week process and they know that they're going to have the market speak. They're going to have a value on their property. And then 30 days later, buyers are obligated to pay for the property. So they know that 6 weeks plus 30 days, they can move on and they're going to be looking at something else. I know that in this case, the sellers are looking at a lot home package in a different part of town and they want to tie this up before they go on to that. So that is essentially the model. It's like any other auction model. Who here has bought something through an auction? There you go. 1, 2, yay. Okay, so very similar. Our buyers like our model because they can come in and dictate their price according to the value that they see in the property. Everybody's going to be different. They're individualized in that. And then we offer tons of properties all over the world. So we have 750,000 active members in our database, which we use as both buyers and sellers. So very cool. I think I've taken up my time. So I appreciate, yes, sir.
I have a question. I hate to be crass, but how do we get paid?
Very good question. Okay. How do we get paid? The obvious question, right? So agents, we always work with a listing agent, have always worked with a listing agent. We have never done an auction without a listing agent in place. Very important to understand that part from how we get paid standpoint. The seller pays the agents like the traditional model. So the seller would pay the listing agent and the purchasing agent. Concierge Auction gets paid through a buyer's premium.
which is similar to any other auction. Those folks that have purchased in an auction format would understand that, you know, Barrett Jackson, I don't know if you've seen that on TV, the main vehicle auction company, or any other art company that auctions things off, any auction house will get paid by the buyer. It's a buyer's premium that pays concierge. Yes, sir.
At Barrett Jackson, a lot of times there's a reserve on a car. Are there opportunities to have a reserve on the house?
Another great question. Yes, there are. So, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Repeat the question.
got it. So the question was, are there reserves on our auctions? The answer is both yes and no. To explain that, some of our auctions are no reserve. Some of our auctions, like this one here, it's listed at 1.995. The reserve is 1.25 million. That's really the seller's choice, and we go along with them. We obviously, our business development team will sit down with the seller and go through the pros and cons of each one of those, and that's getting a little bit more detailed for this arena. But yes, there is a reserve on this, and sometimes we operate with reserve, sometimes we don't. Yes, ma'am. Another great question. So the question was, is it absolute if we get an opening bid of 1.2 to cover the reserve? Is it absolute? It's almost absolute. So the reason the reason why our sellers like our model is because the seller ultimately has the final decision in if the auction goes forward or not. So bids will come in. Another question related is, can somebody come in and bid lower than the reserve? And absolutely yes, you can come in, your clients can bid lower than the reserve. The reserve is much like a line in the sand by the seller. They're saying, hey, this is what we think is appropriate for a minimum bid. Now, that's the seller. Okay, that's not the market. You guys represent the market. I represent the market. The market should have a voice, and they can come in and bid lower. So to answer the first question,
If it came in at 1.4 of that reserve, it's all obligated to sell that at 1.4.
not a totally 100%. They've basically said, hey, listen, if we verbally, they said, hey, if we get a reserve bid of 1.25 in this case, we're going to go ahead with the auction. As part of the contract, we always have what's called a green light call just ahead of the auction. So this is due to go live on December 10th on our website through December 16th. December 9th, I with my team present to the seller the bid sheet as it appears on that day. So everybody's opening bid and things like that. The seller always has the ultimate decision in, hey, yes, I'm going to go forward with the auction, or no, I'm not. Okay, on that day. Sellers like it. For outside of this context, any of your folks that may represent a seller that this might be something for them, sellers like that ultimate decision-making process. Yes, sir.
If they would decide not to, if they would decide not to go forward, do you still get paid?
Does concierge get paid?
Yep.
No.
Okay, so you would do 6 weeks of work for zero?
Correct.
Technically.
I personally would do 6 weeks of
Okay.
work for zero.
If it does go through, if they do go through the auction process, then whatever that final bid is absolute, or no, still no.
S- Yeah. Right. So on that green light call, they say yes to the bid sheet. They say yes to the auction, then it's absolute. Then it is going to the highest bidder. There's no way to back out once they say yes finally to the auction. Yeah. Yes. Still definitely can be financed. Good point. Buyers are obligated to pay within 30 days of the final gavel. So on this case, December 16th is gavel. By January 16th, buyers are obligated to pay in full. Where the money comes from is not really up to us. It doesn't really matter. As part of the registration process, they would prove up funds in some way. So it could be a pre-approval. Correct.
And your guys' attorneys have created a purchase agreement based off our own. that
Oh, yeah.
Will be the final product.
Absolutely. We actually use the state.
I talked to one of your attorneys.
Okay, great. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, we use the state purchase and sale agreement. It's actually on our website. No more questions? Hey, folks, one more?
What's it like working with Mike Bailey?
Can I do no comment or? I think this meeting's over. You know what? Really, really great in many ways. How's that? Folks, great to meet you. Thank you.